for the fans. The glory for the pinstripes.
We have two serious problems that could cost us our season, but the front office has two direct solutions on the table. A big name for the infield and a reliable arm for the mound are within our reach. The decision needs to be made now. To understand the impact of each move, subscribe to the channel because the window of opportunity is closing. What's going on, Yanks Nation? It's me coming at you with the hottest intel, the inside scoops, and the analysis that really matters straight from the heart of the Bronx. We're in the middle of July, and you know what that means. The countdown to the MLB trade deadline is on full blast, and the Yankees front office, led by Brian Cashman, is working around the clock. The phone is ringing off the hook, and the talks are heating up. The truth is, even though we're in the hunt, as always, there are clear holes on this roster that need to be filled if we truly want to hoist that 28th World Series trophy, the one that's been eluding us since 2009. The pressure is immense. The fans' expectations are stratospheric, and every move, or lack thereof, will be scrutinized under the most powerful microscope in New York City. The quest for a championship isn't just a desire, it's an obligation for the pinstripes. And the path to glory in October runs directly through the decisions that will be made in the coming weeks. This isn't just about making the playoffs. It's about building a machine capable of dominating the postseason, and that requires a complete, deep, and resilient roster. Our biggest pain point, and it's no secret to anyone who follows this team closely, is our starting rotation. The depth we had, the depth that carried us to the World Series last year, has been decimated by injuries. It's painful to even list the names. Garrett Cole, our ace, our rock, is out, with a return not expected until 2026. Clark Schmidt, who became such a reliable piece, is on the same grim timeline. And as if that weren't enough, Luis Gil, the 2024 American League Rookie of the Year, one of the most fantastic stories we've seen in recent years, is just beginning his long road back on a rehab assignment. This leaves us dangerously thin. Relying on just Carlos Rodon and Marcus Stroman with youngsters and spot starters filling out the rotation is too risky a gamble for a franchise with our ambitions. We need arms. We need quality innings. We need reliability every fifth day. And this is where things get interesting. According to my sources and what I've been hearing, the Yankees are exploring every option, from the big-name guys to the more stealthy strategic targets. Our biggest pain point, and it's no secret to anyone who follows this team closely, is our starting rotation. The depth we had, the depth that carried us to the World Series last year, has been decimated by injuries. It's painful to even list the names. Garrett Cole, our ace, our rock, is out, with a return not expected until 2026. Clark Schmidt, who became such a reliable piece, is on the same grim timeline. And as if that weren't enough, Luis Gil, the 2024 American League Rookie of the Year, one of the most fantastic stories we've seen in recent years, is just beginning his long road back on a rehab assignment. This leaves us dangerously thin. Relying on just Carlos Rodon and Marcus Stroman with youngsters and spot starters filling out the rotation is too risky a gamble for a franchise with our ambitions. We need arms. We need quality innings. We need reliability every fifth day. And this is where things get interesting. According to my sources and what I've been hearing, the Yankees are exploring every option, from the big-name guys to the more stealthy strategic targets. And a name that's popped up, suggested by Jake Ellman of Fansided, and one that makes a ton of sense within the Yankees' philosophy, is Jeffrey Springs of the Oakland Athletics. Now, I know what some of you, the most hardcore bleacher creatures, might be thinking. Jeffrey Springs? He's not the ace who's gonna win us a title. And you're right, he's not Garrett Cole. But the genius of a trade like this isn't in the glamour, it's in the intelligence and the necessity of it. The Oakland A's, as expected, are in full rebuild mode. They're already thinking about 2026, which means veteran players under contract are their most valuable trade assets. Keeping Springs makes no sense for them, and his contract is exactly the kind of deal Brian Cashman loves. Springs is on a 4-year, $31 million contract with 2 more years of team control after this season, including a $15 million club option for 2027. This isn't a short-term rental, it's a mid-term solution for our rotation at an extremely reasonable cost. Since coming back from Tommy John surgery, he's been quietly effective, posting a 3.76 ERA for the A's and the Tampa Bay Rays. He's a solid lefty, not a guy who's going to light up the radar gun, but a pitcher who knows how to pitch, induce weak contact, and eat innings. In a rotation that desperately needs stability, he would be an invaluable addition, a safe harbor that would allow us not to overtax the younger arms or the bullpen. It would be a classic Yankees move. Identify an undervalued player on a selling team and acquire him without having to gut our farm system. It's a smart professional play that directly addresses our biggest weakness. But our shopping list doesn't end with the rotation. Any fan who has watched the games this year knows we have a black hole at third base. The experiment of moving Jazz Chisholm Jr. back to second base, his natural position, was the right call for him and the infield defense long term. But it created an immediate problem at the hot corner. Assigning DJ LeMahieu to the role simply didn't work out as we'd hoped. And now we're relying on a platoon of Oswald Peraza and Jorbit Vivas. With all due respect to those young talents, they are unproven at the major league level, especially under the pressure of a title run in New York. We cannot go into September and October with such a massive question mark at a crucial lineup spot. A championship team needs production from every position, and third base has been a letdown. That's why the rumors are gaining steam about a blockbuster move, a real splash to solidify our offense. And the name on everyone's lips, the name that's starting to feel almost like destiny, is Eugenio Suarez of the Arizona Diamondbacks. The person who brought this to the forefront most strongly was Jimmy O'Brien of John Boy Media, a voice we all respect in the Yankee community. On the Talkin' Yanks podcast, he said it straight up. I think it's Suarez. He mentioned that after digging through every trade article, every Reddit forum, the chatter around Yankees and Eugenio has become unavoidable in the last few days. And it makes perfect sense. Suarez, at 33 years old, is having a monster season. Entering Saturday's games, he was sporting an 863 OPS with 29 home runs, leading all third basemen in the league. Think about what that kind of bat would mean in our lineup. Think about that powerful swing and a short right field porch at Yankee Stadium. It would be a match made in baseball heaven. He is without a doubt the top rental bat any team could hope to acquire, assuming the D-backs, who are fighting to stay relevant, decide to sell. The competition for him will be fierce. Teams like the Chicago Cubs, Detroit Tigers, and Milwaukee Brewers also have needs at third base and will surely be in the mix. But here's the thing, we're the New York Yankees. We are the evil empire. When we decide we want a player, we usually have the assets and the prospects to make it happen. Bringing in Suarez would be a statement. It would be the front office telling the fans and the rest of the league, we are all in this year. As he wouldn't just plug a hole, he would transform our offense into an even more fearsome force, providing protection for our other sluggers and adding a constant power threat in the middle of the order. It's the kind of move that ignites the fan base and puts fear into opponents. It won't be cheap, but the pursuit of a World Series ring rarely is. So here we are, Yanks Nation, at a strategic crossroads. On one hand, the pragmatic, necessary approach, acquiring a reliable arm like Jeffrey Springs to solidify our depleted rotation, a move that gives us depth and security for the long haul. On the other, the high-impact splash, bringing in a cannon like Eugenio Suarez to solve our third base problem and add elite power to our lineup. Both moves address critical needs. The question I put to you, the fans, the bleacher creatures, the soul of this team, is this: which path is more vital to our success in October? Should we prioritize the stability of the mound, ensuring we have the arms to take us deep into games, or should we bet everything on firepower, trying to outslug our opponents with a relentless attack? Or in true Bronx Bombers fashion, is the answer to do both? Does the front office have what it takes to be aggressive on both fronts? I want to hear from you. Drop your analysis, your theories, and your wishes in the comments below. Which move do you want to see Brian Cashman make? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss any breaking news or in-depth analysis as we close in on the trade deadline. I'll be right here covering every rumor, every conversation, and every move, bringing you the exclusive insights you only get here.